Hey everybody, Tim here with today's episode of Enterprise, Season 3, Episode 20, Forgotten. So we're in the final countdown, the last 5 episodes of this season, thank God. So it's been rough, like this whole season's been rough. And I kind of hate to admit this, but like this episode is like, with these last 5 episodes, I've been struggling a lot. And so it's almost to the point where like my attention starts wandering, I like pick up my phone, like checking Facebook, stuff like that. And it almost becomes background noise. And that's not something I like to admit. This is, I guess, a confession. But it's the truth. And I'm doing these reviews not to lie. I'm not going to be like, this is great. It's not. It's bad. It's really difficult for me to watch it. Some people absolutely love it, and that's fine. Kudos to you. Even some of you have left comments saying like, I kind of disagree. I really like this. That's great. I love it when you guys say stuff like that. And please feel free to be like, I actually really like it for this reason. I mean, that's fine. I would love to have a conversation, go back and forth about why you like it. Just because I don't like it doesn't mean anything. So this episode, it wasn't a bad episode. It was kind of interesting, actually. It picks up right after the last one where Archer just stole the warp coil, so he's finally going warp speed again. And he talks about like how he has 18 crew member dead. Now, this is where I got a little frustrated. So I have worked retail for a long time. Like, that's my actual job. Until this becomes famous. Long time, like 15 years I've been doing retail. And so I've had a lot of different, like, bosses, people above me. I've had some really good ones, I've had some really bad ones, I've had some mediocre ones, I've had, like, ton over the years. Now, the really good ones, like, there's a big difference between a leader and a boss. A leader is somebody who will jump in, show you how to do stuff, hands-on training, and will give you the tools to do your job successfully. Whereas a leader will just be like, do as I say, go away. Like, and especially, like, the number one thing I hate is chain of command. Like, you go and you're like, hey, can you help me out with this? Did you ask so-and-so? Like, because they don't want to be bothered. They want you to ask somebody else. It pisses me off. So anyway, there's leaders and there's bosses. Picard would be a leader. Fantastic. Janeway, definitely a leader. Sisko is actually kind of in the middle, to be honest with you. Like, the one thing that stands out to me about Sisko is, I think it was the pilot episode, where Kira actually goes above him. And, like, Sisko's like, if you ever do that again, I will have your head on a platter. As soon as he said that, I lost all respect for Sisko as a leader. Like, he could be a great boss. He could be a great person. And I could get along with him on, like, a peer level. But I would never look up to him as a leader. So, stuff like that really annoys me. And in this episode, like, Archer, to me, is the worst captain. Because he is a boss. He is not a leader by any means. And in this episode, it's a great example where 18 crew members are dead. And he's like, wasn't one of them, like, an engineer or something? And Trip's like, yeah, like, I forgot what her name is. He's like, yeah, she was. He's like, write a letter to her parents explaining what happened. And Trip's like, well, she didn't work underneath me, so I didn't really know her. She actually worked underneath that guy, so I'll go ahead and ask him to write the letter. And Archer's like, I asked you to do it. Again, right there. Like, there's no conversation, there's nothing like that. And furthermore, like, Archer's the captain, and this is about a person who just died. Like, the parents are not going to want to hear the chief engineer. They're going to want to hear from the captain. That is Archer's responsibility. He shouldn't delegate that to somebody else. So that pissed me off right there. So anyway, most of this episode, Degra and Jannar, the aliens, come on board, and it's just Archer, just like, please believe us, help us. And he's like, here's the alien corpses that we took from the past, and here's that dead sphere builder. And it's so many references to past episodes, which is cool. But I've been binging this show very, very quickly, like in the last week, because I've been on vacation. And it's like, if I was watching this series one episode a week, I would not remember this from like 20, 30 weeks ago. Like, it wouldn't be there. And I'd be like, where the fuck did these guys come from? So I can't even imagine what this show would have been like and how people kept track of it. So from there, like, they do, of course, believe them, and they're like, okay, let's go meet the council. And it's like, oh, that's a good cliffhanger. The plasma fire scene was actually pretty good. Like, I really liked it. The effects were great. Everything about it was really interesting. probably my favorite part about this episode, and like I'm already giggly about it, is the guest star, Seth MacFarlane, shows up. And Seth MacFarlane is amazing. Like, he is my idol. He's the guy that has like the dream life. Like, he sings, he acts, he's he's got the looks, he's got everything. He's like the perfect guy. And so he was like a super nerd growing up. Like, you could look it up. Like, he has like little fan movies, like home movies of him like doing Star Trek videos and stuff. And it's like, that is amazing. I can't even imagine. And like, he's pretty much lived his dream. Like, he's like, there was the episode of Family Guy where it has everybody from the Next Generation in it. Patrick Stewart alone has been in just about every single thing he's done. So it's fantastic, and kudos to him. And so to even get to this point where he actually was able to do a guest star appearance in actual Star Trek show is amazing. Now for me, like, I love Orville because there's always been the big fight right now between Orville and Discovery. In my mind, there's no doubt about it, Orville wins. Like, I love Orville. I'm not a big Discovery fan, but don't worry, I will be doing those reviews as soon as I'm done with Enterprise. And I'll actually be doing reviews of Orville as well, so I'm super excited for that. But, like, I always, ever since I've been watching Orville, I knew Seth MacFarlane. He's in like 2 episodes of Enterprise. I want to see some episode where they accidentally go to like an alternate dimension. Or like, he even brings it up. He's like, hey, do you remember that time we went to like a different dimension and we had to pretend to be engineers and just have like the flashback, because Family Guy and Orville and stuff are great at those flashback scenes, and just have like take those 2 scenes and put them in there of like Trip yelling at Seth MacFarlane's character. It would have been great. Like, I was super excited just to kind of tie the 2 together. That's me like fan projecting, but I think it would have been amazing. So anyways, for those who have seen it, like I said, final 5 episodes. What do you guys like think of what we've seen, what we have looked forward to? What do you think about the boss and the leader argument? And what do you think about Seth MacFarlane? Let's get him in on this. So thank you guys for everything, and I will see you guys next time for E Squared.